Hello my angels! Today is the second episode of the Persephone Diaries that I started last week, where I'm going to take you with me on the journey to the creation of my very first EP. So, as the name says, for those of you who don't know, the EP is going to be about Greek Goddess Persephone, who's also known as the Queen of the Underworld. So for today's video, what I wanted to do was something a bit more personal, which is the struggles that I've faced and I'm still facing with creating the EP. So, as I said before, it's my very first EP, so I've been singing for a very long time. I've been writing lyrics for a very long time as well, but I've never taken it seriously, let's say, the lyrics parts. But part of my musical journey is to not only sing, obviously, and keep singing, but also to write my own songs, or co-write my own songs. So this time I decided to completely start from scratch, write lyrics and work on melodies as well, and do the rest of the work with co-writers, so I could have a final project made of songs that I would have contributed to. So this is actually a great idea, a great project, something I'm very, very happy about. But at the same time, it's something that meant lots of questions and lots of struggles. So the very first one, when I decided that I wanted to have my original songs, was to choose the theme, the topic. I hesitated for a long time because I was like, I can write different songs about different things, anything that comes to mind. But then I decided that it was actually better to have like kind of a project album, something that would have like a global topic and write different songs about that same topic. So the album would be like storytelling. So instead of having a book divided in chapters, I would have an album divided in songs. Then I thought, what are the best ideas for topics? Then I thought of what I like myself and what would make great stories. And the best stories I can think of linked to metal and imagination and legends is Greek mythology. I've always been a huge fan of Greek mythology, and the stories are so interesting, complex. The characters have so many dimensions that they make perfect material for symphonic metal. Then who was I going to choose as the topic? So I was like, Greek mythology, but what in Greek mythology? Like one person, one god, one goddess, one particular event, series of events. Then, as I was listening to different songs and discovering new bands, I came across a song, a Therian song called Dark Venus Persephone. I'm putting the link above actually, so you can listen to the song if you don't know it. It's a great symphonic metal song, as many of the Therian songs. But when I listened to it, not only was I thinking it's a great song, but then I thought, hang on a minute, Persephone is such a cool character. Like, she's not one of the main ones that people talk about the most. She's not the one people mention very often, but she's such an interesting character because she's at the same time Queen of the Underworld, and she's also like Goddess of Spring, so it's like there's a duality in her, and I can make something out of it. I'm pretty sure I can describe her story that is already interesting, but I can describe it or like tell it using different angles. So after that I thought a bit longer and then decided that I really wanted to do a Persephone story. So after finding the theme, the second struggle was more about how do I start? It's quite easy to think you got an idea and it's cool, but how do you start? How do I tell a story? How do I do this? How do I start with words? Do I start with lyrics? Do I start with the music? Do I talk to people? So I was like very confused at the beginning. So what I did was, let's start with what I can do, which is writing lyrics. So I started writing lyrics and thinking of what came to mind regarding Persephone's story. Then I wrote it, and I wrote different texts, and then I thought of the different aspects of her life. And what happened when I wrote these lyrics was that I realized that what interested me the most, besides her story, which is already quite interesting, was how do I picture her? How do I see Goddess Persephone? Do I see her as a victim, or do I see her as a strong queen, or in someone in between, someone who's like kind of turning a bad situation into something good? And so this is what I'm describing in my songs in the end. I decided this is what I wanted to do, and this is how I actually turned or changed my lyrics to be. So this actually was really good, so it did help me, this process helped me. Now I have some lyrics that I like and that I'm using already, and some more that I want to use. But at the beginning the main struggle was to start, really. The other struggle was, once you have the lyrics, is how do you turn this into songs? How does this work? So for this I'm very happy because I have a co-writer. I have actually several co-writers, but I have a main co-writer who's Tom, who's helping me with the music. And the great thing is that he's very interested in the project as well. He liked the idea from the start. And the cool thing is that he came up with some ideas given the theme, the description of the goddess Persephone, and the musics were so cool and interesting and perfectly fit the theme that it helped me choose how I was going to use them with my lyrics. So initially I was a bit lost because I had never done the exercise of putting my lyrics to music. But then I thought, you know what, how about I just try it? I'm gonna try some melodies, I'm gonna see how it works, and we'll go from there. And after thinking for a long time, somehow, you know, when people say just do it, it's just easier, but you never do that. You just think and think and think, and then at some point you're like, okay, I'll try. But after thinking for a long time, I decided to try. I tried, and I was very happy because something happened. Some songs started to actually have a structure and starting to sound interesting. There's still a lot of work, so it's not finished for sure, but it's not as impossible as I thought it was, or really, really complex. You can do something. Now, I want it to be the best as possible, so I'm gonna work on it, I'm gonna make it even better, but I'm quite proud of the beginning, to be honest. So this is really, really good, and I haven't fully overcome this fear of creating a melody, of thinking, is anything gonna come to my mind? But I'm getting there, and the result is that I'm making progress, which is really, really cool. My next struggle, which is the one I have now, is how long is it going to take to finish writing the songs? I'm in no hurry. I want to take my time. I want this to be a good album. I really want it to be a good album. I want something great, actually. But I'm also impatient to see the final product. So each time I think, how long is it going to take? I don't want to put anything in the diary, because with inspiration, especially when you're new at this, like the way as I am, you don't want to push yourself too much. You want to make it natural. You want to push it a little bit, but not too much. So my other struggle was, and it's still the case, is like, when is it going to be finished? So the way I'm overcoming this is to take little steps. This is what I found works best. So it doesn't add extra stress that I don't need, and it somehow makes things work like towards the final product. So what I do is I'm going to work on one song at a time. I'm going to plan to set aside some time to write, to change the songs, and I'll do this little by little. So as long as I know it's progressing, I'm making changes and I'm making the songs evolve, I'm happy. So for now this is the best I can do, and I think I'm gonna be doing this until I obviously learn more, feel more confident doing this, and then I'm sure I will be able to do this even better, as in plan better, and I will be able to have, I'm pretty sure, the kind of confidence I believe people have when they write songs. So, but so far, I have to, the conclusion, I have to say that the struggles don't really bother me that much. It's fine if it's gonna take a long time. If I'm not inspired sometimes, it's also fine. It's not like an exercise, it's like inspiration. It's something that comes when it feels like coming, and it's something that has to be also enjoyable. So those struggles, I don't mind them, as I said, and also they somewhat help me make progress, and I have made progress. So this is all for today. Next time I'm planning to show you, to actually take you with me on the other part of the journey. So I want to take you with me and show you a writing session with my co-writer, so that way you'll be able to see a few more details about how I do things, and I want to take you with me on other parts of the journey. So stay tuned for the next video, and enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching. Obviously, if you don't want to miss any video, don't hesitate to subscribe on my YouTube channel. And if you want to follow me on my other social network, you can follow me on my Instagram as well. I'm putting a lot of daily updates, so that way you don't miss any part of my music journey. So this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.